There is no light here. There's no light. Excuse me. No, we appreciate you. Yeah. That's my genius.
Good.
Okay,
to
so
have
my name is Izzy Israeli. I came to this. Somebody open the door. I came to this country with a ticket because I married a nice American lady. Her name was Terry Israeli. She came overseas to study in Israel for an overseas program, and I snatched her,
Good.
became a husband, and we lived together in a true socialistic community that never worked out.
Okay.
So
Beautiful.
we lived in a kibbutz. Anyway, in 1980, I left the kibbutz and came to America and studied under a father to be a jeweler. He had a nice shop in downtown Cincinnati, in the skyscraper,
Hmm.
and he would service the three states, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio. And every day Santa Claus came in and took a huge bag out and brought a huge bag back in. Santa Claus was dressed as a UPS man. Anyway,
Beautiful.
my father-in-law survived the Holocaust. My family survived the Holocaust. So we are Holocaust kids. So we had that in common between me and my wife, the bond. And he was actually one of the famous people that was the counterfeiter that produced all that fake money for the Germans.
Really?
It wasn't volunteer, if you didn't, you died.
Wow.
So he did that for them, and therefore I can say wholeheartedly that he was one of the best craftsmen in Europe. Otherwise, he wouldn't have survived.
Absolutely.
And from there, I moved on later on to Atlanta and opened a store of 850 square feet. Make a long story short, 24 years later, I have two stores. One is 2,800 square feet, and the other one is about 30,000 square feet.
30,000 square feet.
3,000 square feet, sorry. Yeah.
We're going to have the Atlanta Jewelry Show at your place.
And, yeah, sure you can. Anyway, I have initiated this conversation with you because I'm concerned about people in the industry. And I know that we are big AHs in the industry not to want to share and help each other.
Right.
It's a horrible thing.
And it's time for that to change.
It should have never been there.
Right. Yep.
It's a horrible attitude.
Absolutely.
Should have never been there. We should help each other, be friends with each other, and borrow from each other whatever we need to sell somebody else, and have a network, just like all the garages in every city that share parts with everybody.
Right.
So
hats off to Aaliyah for starting Jewelers Helping
of,
Jewelers.
not sharing and not wanting to speak to each other and feeling that your competition is your enemy.
Right.
The enemy of yourself is only yourself. And the success of a business is only what you have and what's in your brain and what's your attitude towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And really the competition that you have is mostly against yourself. Why? Because to be innovative is all the time having to go and think out of the box and to bring all kinds of things into the table that nobody else ever thought about and share those with people as well. So one of the most important things in life is to know this. You will never be successful in anything if you don't have a coach. Michael Jordan did not make it himself. Austin Heston did not make it by himself. Nobody can become the bright, shiny star without help.
Right. That's right.
What's his name? Isaac Perlman. I know him from childhood. When I used to go to play, I would go by school. It was a special school for polio victims.
Okay.
Yes. Isaac Perlman could not have been where he is if his mother did not sell everything, come to New York, and throw him in the hands of the best violinist.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I want to thank my wife here for introducing me to you as one of the coaches, and Rita as another coach. And I want to thank you for introducing me to many things, but one of the most important things that I've encountered from you in the first meetings is you mentioning Hug Your Customer, the book.
Right.
I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves that are 3 feet long each one, with all kinds of books that will help you think about your business. And this one really hit the spot unbelievably.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So when you hug your customer and this kind of a situation comes in, you would be a lot more prepared and will get a lot more help to go through the storm. And I want to tell everybody, first and outmost, this storm is a lot worse than September 11, a lot worse than 2008, but nothing like the Holocaust. So relax, breathe in.
There's some
breathe
perspective.
out. You will not lose your life, and you'll continue to live, and you will remake your life out of it. Even if you're 70 years old or 60 years old, I am 67. Don't let it take you down. Let it make you survive. And if you are anxious, nervous, gonna smoke more cigarettes, more cigars, drink more, all you're doing is hurting yourself. And there's things that you can help with, and there's things that you can't help with.
Right. Absolutely.
I said a lot.
You did. I'm trying to move to a spot where my internet connection is more stable, and I keep going up in and out. But and let's get to that one of the initial points that you had, and that is the industry has been an industry of keep your mouth closed and keep your secrets to yourself. But we got to hand it to Aaliyah for starting Jewelers Helping Jewelers. I mean, has that not been tremendous for you?
Okay, the last 30 seconds of your sentence did not come through.
Okay. Well, I was talking basically singing the praises of Jewelers Helping Jewelers.
Yes.
On Facebook.
So that is a very good step in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yes.
But we can do a lot more than that, There's
yes.
no reason for me to come to a show and sit down in the show and the speaker says, any of you will be willing to tell anybody how much you pay for a pennyweight of gold when you buy it? And only me raised the hand because wow. Everybody says, oh, my competition here, I don't want him to know how much I buy it for.
Right.
Really? If I really want to know how much you buy it for, will I not send a spy with a gram and see what you do?
Yes. Right. It's not like you couldn't figure it out anyway, but
yeah.
And you know what? That leads me to, and folks, I just want you to know, we don't have an agenda for this. Izzy and I just felt we needed to chat and share some things. And if I could share, exactly what you're talking about there is my initial dream with starting the jewelry store training program was to be able to bring the costly but yet amazing training to jewelers, everyone, no matter what kind of volume they were doing, and make it very, very affordable. And so I've made a pretty, fair living right now with the customers that we have. But my dream would be to be able to kind of travel the country and go into stores just like yourself and do video interviews where everybody could kind of peer into other stores to find out what they're doing, and just share and grow the industry. So I'm looking for a sponsor. If anybody would sponsor me to do that, wouldn't that be interesting?
So I can share with the public, if they like, what I have done in the last few days.
Tell us.
That just hit us like last week. It started hitting us like a brick.
Tell us.
And in the last few days, what I've done is the first thing in due respect, I'll give the credit to Rita. Rita sent me to this company that I was able to produce 10 of those.
Okay.
For $150. And the reason I produced 10 of those is because the city commissioner is going to come and every 2-3 days take them off. But for every 2-3 days, this will pay itself 100 folds. So that's the first thing I did, and went online and got this for $150, 10 of them. So that's really cheap. Then today I sat down and I called all my credit card companies and told them I need help. And they all helped. Some of them gave me a 3 months deferment, and some of them gave me 30 days deferment. But this is not about the deferment and this or that. This is about just like Churchill. Churchill asked in the Second World War for all humanity in England to bring him any kind of aluminum so he can build planes. Well, guess what? He didn't build one plane out of it. But because you donated a piece of aluminum, you felt good and you were enrolled in the program. And that's the same thing here.
Right.
Being proactive, doing something will make you go home feeling
yes.
Once it's over, to call my landlords and ask them to see how they can help me first. You know, you don't want to throw all the poker cards out there.
Right.
And then after that, if there is no help, I would ask for a double payment in December, you know, or double payment October, November, December, to see if to find a way to survive and continue.
But there will be help. You know there will be, based upon your...
Well, if there will not be help, then I'll feel good about paying them back what they deserve.
Sure. Yep.
And I'm also capable of calling the media on them.
Yep.
There's no problem.
Sure.
The other thing that I do, that I did up till now, and tonight the governor is going to be, but up till now, as long as I'm allowed, I am making private appointments at people's houses. If they have any silverware that says on it Sterling or 905, everybody has them and they never use them. It's very hard to get rid of anybody who is below 65 to sell it. But it's very easy for those who's over 65 to sell it because they know there's no room in the gravesite for it.
And the Pope isn't coming over anytime soon, or the Queen of England.
Whatever. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing so far, and I'm keeping that's helping me to keep my moral high and not having to go and find Prozac or whatever. And also when you do this, you are becoming an example for the company that you own, and you are helping your wife or your secretary or whoever is behind you to believe in you. Because you are the shield of the company. And if you don't act and just bitch, you're going to end up bitching to the mirror.
Right. Yep. So let's talk really quickly and go back to those. You had mentioned in the beginning of this, the hug your customers thing. And my wife and I, Sharon and I, were going for a walk yesterday with our little cockapoo, and you know, people were playing basketball with their kids out in the garage or in the driveway. People were going for walks and passing each other on the other side of the road, and big smiles and hellos. And um, you know, we are an industry of love and emotion and compassion and all of these wonderful feelings. There's got to be some wonderful fallout for us when this is all over. There's got to be. And if love prevails and if love always wins, I think we're set up for winning pretty well. Do you not?
So before this is over, I'm already plowing the land already for a long time since I started reading that and reading that book twice. So right now, when I'm doing like people call me and say, you know, I left you a ring to be fixed. I didn't have the money for it, but is there a way for me to pick it up because I don't know what's going to happen? And I understand their part. I want to share their emotions, not my emotions, and say, wow, they know that a lot of businesses might be closing for good and never opening afterwards. So what I do with customers, like I said, you know what? I already started the job. The job is there. What I can do is finish the job. You pay me now with the balance, whatever it is, and I will hand deliver it to your house. Now, don't tell me that you have a life and you need to live. When you are in the jewelry business and you are in the service here, your life is dedicated mostly to them. And every time you give them more than expected, you deserve the credit, you deserve the referral, and you deserve the Google 5-star. And you can ask for it and you will get it as well. So this customer is concerned about it, most precious emerald ring. On Thursday, it will be ready, and I will hand deliver it to doorstep, and I will walk away from the doorstep. I will call, and I will say, your ring is on the floor. Go pick it up. And I will say, now you owe me a hug.
Beautiful, beautiful. And can you still operate this way when the governor tells us to close, or can we not do that anymore?
No, I had a scheduled for the last 2 days of this month and the first day of April, which ends up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I had scheduled a gold buying event, and I canceled it out of responsibility to the community. Mm-hmm. I mean, they will come. They need the money and all that. But what if I cause somebody to be contaminated and die? It's on me. So we are postponing this to when things would get settled better. And in the meantime, I will do as much as I can, only one-on-one. Okay. Even one-on-one, I want to tell you, this lady bought a little cross for me for $300 last week. And it was delivered by Stalo to me. And I called her and I said, I have the star. I know we are at home and we're not allowed to come out. I know you have an 8-year-old child that you wanted to go to college alive and well, and a husband. I would love to come to you. And please look around if you have any broken jewelry, any gold, any silver. I would love to buy that. I drove to the house. The house is about half an hour away from my store. I got there and they greeted me very nicely. They even wanted to offer me some cold soft drink or water. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, I'm sorry. This is the times. And I didn't even shake hands, no elbows. Right. But I ended up getting paid for the stuff. And I also gave her a check for $300 for her $600 gold. And ended up also selling there a rope chain for the star that I discounted it to $600 because I was going to melt it. So I made double the melt on that one too. So all in all, just so you know, everybody has some metals out there. And this is one of the ways to milk the cow to continue living.
Well, your story
And
reminds me. Can you
I am
can you hear me?
promising everybody that the fourth quarter will be an awesome quarter in this country.
I think it will. I think it will. And I'm very hopeful for it. Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me
Yes,
good?
clear good now.
Okay, very good. I just wanted to point out as you were telling your story about the buying the gold, we all, not necessarily all of us, but when we start a jewelry store, a lot of times we start it with a couple cases, and we start it very small and or organic. And really, this is just about getting back to those original things that we did when we started off. Organic, one by one, hugging your customer, figuratively in this case, and just loving on people one by one. And I think it's a beautiful story. And I know you're going to be good even if you have to shut down 100%. You're
Yes,
going to still be doing positive.
well, I am 67, and I have less humans to worry about to take care of as I used to before. All
Right.
my children graduated. I do have one daughter in my house that is divorcing, and I'm taking care of her and her kids as much as I can, and
Sure.
paying the bills to the lawyer, which is anyway. But um, there's always in every home 3 watches that need batteries that you can do in front of them in their house and walk away with $45 in your pocket.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
it's not the end of the world. It's the beginning of a new chapter.
It is. It is. You are a wonderful inspiration, and I appreciate the calls that you and I have every once in a while. And it's so good. I've never
I
seen
challenge you a lot, don't I?
You do. For everyone that's listening, Izzy calls me and says, "Hey, I got one for you. Talk about this."
I still did not get an answer on what you still didn't find an answer yet.
Which one? Which one particularly?
I called you once and I said, look, what do? They come in, they just want to be sized. We said, are you buying a ring? They said, yes. Can I show you? No. You're too expensive. We want to buy on the net.
Oh, I talked to your son about that.
Maybe I don't. I didn't get the message from him. I got the message from him about something else.
Oh man. Well, it's a long conversation on that one. So
it's not befitting now.
Anyway,
but, all I want to do is have everybody have a rosy day every day, and just go through the hurdle. And the government is trying its best, and I don't want to talk politics now.
Right.
The government is trying its best, and eventually they will help.
Right. I'm more trusting in the Lord than I am in the government.
Yeah, but the Lord always says, if you don't take care of yourself, I will not take care of you.
Exactly. Right. We got to take care of ourselves. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for chatting. I got to go get some soup now.
You're welcome. Enjoy the soup. And don't go this one too much, because germs will come.
God bless you.
Take care. All the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye.